Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The pain that Indian markets are undergoing for the last 4 trading sessions is getting worse and worse. You have 25,000 on the Nifty, down 200 points. Nifty Bank has slipped 234 points lower, 51,612. The selling pressure is unrelenting. There was an early morning bounce from the 50 DMA, which was tested at 25,050 on the Nifty in the first maybe 1 or 2 minutes of trade. From then on, a very sharp bounce happened all the way up to 25,460, which is a jump of about 400 points. And then on, it is somewhere around 12:30 that the selling began. And from a high of about 25,463, we are now firmly below the 50-day moving average and have tested 25,000. So far, the Nifty is down about 200 points. And in terms of the selling pressure, you have the usual suspects in the form of ICICI Bank, Reliance, M&M, Bharti Airtel and HDFC Bank, which are providing a sell-off to the broader markets. Let's look at the volume. This is the most critical component. Remember, you will again see a huge number of foreign institutional net selling for today evening. Already 4,300 crores of Reliance has been traded. About 3,400 crores of HDFC Bank has been traded. Somewhere in the vicinity of 1,500 crores worth of Infosys, Tata Motors and SBI are traded. These are in the green, but these two stocks alone, Reliance and HDFC Bank, the two out of 4 heaviest weighted counters on Reliance on the Nifty, have enough sales to take the wind out of this rally. The steep fall that happened from 12:30 till about 12:40, in a span of 10 minutes, the Nifty lost 300 points. So this points to a basket sale order that comes from large players such as foreign funds. With that background in mind, ladies and gentlemen, also look at the Nifty IT index. You've seen a very sharp up move in the morning. This index went all the way up to 42,566 and is now at 41,918. Again, somewhere 650-700 point fall on the Nifty IT index as far as prices are concerned for the index itself. Amongst the top losers in the index heavyweight 10 top stocks is Bajaj Finance, 3% lower, 7,202. You have a sharp fall also coming into Bajaj Finserv, 1.9% lower. In terms of gainers, it's TCS, Infosys, Tata Motors, and to some extent Axis Bank and SBI. In the broader markets, the sell-off is equally sharp. Just look at the advanced decline ratio and that will give you an idea about how the broader markets is being observed by traders. 765 stocks are in the green, 1615 are in the red. So the advanced decline is easily 2.5:1. For every 2 shares that are in the green, there are 5 in the red. We tracked 19 indices for you, 17 of them are in the red, and the sell-off is primarily on the realty index, the media index, the FMCG index and the auto index. It's only the IT index which is barely up in the green. This is the right time on the show to get in touch with Swati Hotkar, AVP for Technical Research at Nirmal Bang Securities. Namaste Swati, a very warm welcome to you. Festive greetings. However, this pain that is across the board in the markets seems to be getting worse. Do you feel the Nifty will withstand 25,000 or is there more pain in the offing?
Good afternoon, Shelji. Definitely from the last few trading sessions, from almost 3 to 4 trading sessions, we are continuously hitting the profit booking sessions, and which help out the Nifty to touch the feet of a 50 days moving average, which comes to at around 25,040. On today intraday basis, it has broke the support level as well. But on the closing basis, we need to keep a close eye on that levels. If Nifty manages to give the breakdown of a 25,000 psychological mark on the closing basis, then definitely this sell-off is likely to be continued, and more 300 to 400 points downfall we are likely to witness in the coming few trading sessions. On the higher side, on the technical front, the view will remain cautious as long as Nifty trades below 25,300 level, which is the cluster resistance level provided by its swing resistance levels. So as long as Nifty trades below that level, the view will remain cautious, and I'm looking for a target of at least 24,700 to 24,500 levels on the downside. So the view on the Nifty front is a little bit cautious. So on every rise can be utilized to book your profits.
Okay, fine, and that seems to be happening with great enthusiasm as far as foreign institutional investors are concerned. Look at Bank Nifty. The high on the Bank Nifty was somewhere in the vicinity. I will get the big Bank Nifty chart for you. The high for the Bank Nifty intraday was somewhere like 52,711. So it's down almost 900, 1,000 points from its intraday high. In the last 5 sessions, the Bank Nifty has lost 3,000 points, or roughly about 5.8% in this heavy selling, led off mainly because of the pain that is there in the Middle East, and that's getting reflected on Indian markets, as also the fact that a lot of foreign institutional investors are booking profits in India and are wanting to use those monies towards China, where valuations are much better off. In the last 1 week alone, Chinese funds have attracted $13 billion of foreign money, compared with just $101 million worth in Indian equities. Swati, when you look at this market, let's look at how prices are moving on Reliance. Now below 2,000, now below 200-day exponential moving average. Look at L&T, heavy selling there as well. Are there any support levels that you want viewers or potential investors to look forward to as far as these two counters are concerned?
Yeah, Shelty, definitely Reliance has given a breakdown of 20 DMA, which is a really cautious sign on the technical front. But if you look towards the past history, we have seen that this particular counter manages to take a support of 2,700, and from there onwards, we have seen a very good rally up to the 3,200 levels. So if you consider that swing supports levels, I believe that Reliance will be the one good counter on every fall. You should definitely accumulate this particular stock, because this is the one of the counter one should everyone have in their portfolio. So any dips towards 2,700 level, definitely it's an accumulation phase, and any dips towards 2,600 levels also you can accumulate it. Upside, I'm looking for a pullback rally towards maximum up to 3,000, and beyond that 3,200 levels can be seen. So this is the quality counter one should definitely accumulate on every deep as such. And coming towards the L&T, this particular counter as of now going to hit the more selling pressure, because if we look towards the weekly chart, from the last few 3 to 4 months, we can say that the stock is under the consolidation phase of within the range of 3,600 to 3,800 levels. Within the momentum of 200 points only we are witnessing now. In this week, the counter is almost down by 6%, and it has given the breakdown of that consolidation phase as well. So my view is little bit cautious. So you need to wait for a right time to get entered into the L&T, not at the current market price, but definitely if you're getting any dips towards 3,350, 3,300 levels, that can be utilized to take a fresh long positions, but not at the current market price. So just wait and watch policy should be applied on the L&T, but definitely one can go for the Reliance on any dips.
Apart from these two stocks, what are the one or two that you are looking from your own research, Swati, where investors or traders can probably use this downturn to at least start making a tentative list of potential purchases, if not, buy some in SIP format?
One can go for the IEX. This particular counter strategy really looks very good on the technical front. Even those kind of a falling market, this particular stock managed to hold the support of the important moving averages, say the 50 days moving average. And from the last few trading sessions, we are witnessing a very strong consolidation within the tight range of 190 to 200 levels. No wonder the stock is trading on a green side a little bit, but definitely I'm looking for a target of at least again back towards to the 240 levels. So one can go for a long position into the IX on every dips towards to 195 can be act as a stop loss, and I'm looking for a target of a 240 level. So this is the current counter I'm looking to take a fresh long position.
Okay, let's look at some stocks which are doing phenomenally well in today's markets despite the very strong sell-off, and I'd like to mark Oil India. This is a stock that I had highlighted early morning before markets opened, that you would just might see some positivity coming out of the Middle East crisis, because of which crude oil prices have jumped 8%. Look at Oil India. The counter's up 7% after a very sharp fall from 771 rupees to 534 rupees in a span of about a month or month and a half. Your view, Swati, on Oil India, is the worst behind us? The stock has corrected about 30% in a span of 23 sessions.
Shelji, you rightly pointed out that within a span of a one and a half month trading session, we have witnessed a retracement from almost 760 to 550 levels, and from there onwards now we are witnessing some sort of a positive momentum. But as of now, still the view will remain a cautious, because the stock is trading just near the breakdown of the trend lines. As of now, on higher side, 590 is acting as a very crucial resistance levels. Unless and until it doesn't give the breakout of the same level, more momentum, positive momentum cannot be witnessed on the higher sides. So I believe that this rally might be a short-lived rally, but definitely if the stock manages to give a breakout of a 590,
Okay.
definitely more momentum can be seen high towards to 620 to 630 levels. So I will suggest to, if you're having any long position, you can hold on by maintaining a strict stop loss of a 560.
Okay, this is the view that is coming in on a government oil producer which has seen good days and then corrected sharply, and of course now on its way up. 243. Let's look at some other parts of the market. Some stocks I'd like to mark in terms of those that have hit all-time highs. It's again metals, although they have shown a bit of correction since morning, but JSW Steel hit a fresh high, now 1035. Let me just tell you what the high was in the day today. 1063 was an intraday high. The counter is now at 1035. Lloyd's Metals, this is something that one of our guests, Vineet Bolinjkar, has often pointed out on the long side. The intraday high today is almost 4 digits, 998.5. The counter now at 978. And of course, the bluest of the blue, Naukri.com, better known as Info Edge. Singular one-sided move since many weeks, 1.3% higher at 8231. These are the stocks that are hitting record highs at the moment, and you have a sharp move coming into Pfizer, Bank of Baroda. Let's take Swati's view on Bank of Baroda. This is 2.5% higher, and this is also accompanied by a very sharp jump in volumes. Swati, is the worst behind Bank of Baroda? Any other PSU stock that you might like? And in the meantime, the Nifty has slipped below 25,000. Your view on Bank of Baroda?
Shaji, my view on the Bank of Baroda is definitely positive because from the last 2 to 3 months, we are continuously witnessing a profit booking or say the selling pressure from almost 300 to 250 levels. Now, on the technical front, the stock has given the breakout of a downward sloping trend line, and along with the volumes, the price are really doing very well on the higher sides. I'm looking for a target of at least 270 to 280 levels on the up on a higher end as such. So those who are having any long position, they can definitely hold on. Downside, it has a very crucial support of 240 levels provided by its 20 DMA. So as long as it's hold that level, my view will remain a positive for immediate target of 270 to 280. So it's a hold, or definitely one can create a long position as well by maintaining a stop loss of 240.
Okay, that's the view that is coming in on Bank of Baroda. Swati, this pain is now sort of accelerating. Would you have a view on Bank Nifty? We've corrected somewhere to the tune of about 3,200 points from the peak. This index is now below 100-day moving average, lowest since maybe early September. Let me check that. What do you think of Bank Nifty?
Sanjay, if we look towards the Bank Nifty chart on the future front, whatever the rally we have seen from the month of September, from almost 50,000 to 54,000 levels, if we look towards the retracement level, this particular indices has already retraced up to the golden ratio, which comes to nearby 61.8%. So probably we are likely to here find out some support, and it's also will be trading nearby its 50 days moving average, which comes to around 51,600. So more limited downfall is there from here onwards. Probably it will find a good support at around 51,600 to 51,500. That level we might going to find out a support, and then we will again witness some sort of a recovery in this particular counter, which might take a Bank Nifty towards to 5,300 levels. But at the current juncture, I will suggest to just wait and watch this particular indices. If you're getting any dips towards to 51,500 or 600 level, at that point of time we can think about the fresh longs, but not at the current market price, because this is the weekend as well as we having a 2 days holiday coming, and the US data is also coming. So it will be risky to take a buy call at the current market price, but definitely on the Monday we might initiate a fresh longs if the Bank Nifty supports the mentioned levels.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's now detour into the FNO space. First and foremost thing to see is what is the advanced decline ratio. Okay, only 23 stock futures are in the green compared with 162 that are in the red. So it's 1:8. You can well imagine what is the sentiment on the Lal Street if amongst the most liquid, most traded stock futures, the advanced decline ratio is 1:8. Now let us go group wise. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio in the Nifty. You have 6:44. Again, almost the same, 1:8. What are the 6 stocks that are rising? Tata Motors. I'll request Swati to please keep an eye out on Tata Motors. I'll just come back to her. You have Infosys, Wipro and Tech Mahindra from the IT stable, which are briefly, but very briefly, trying to do all that they can to keep the Nifty afloat. ONGC, something that we've checked via Oil India, and of course HDFC Life. So in terms of index heavyweights, just one stock, which is Infosys, which is trying its level best to keep the Nifty afloat and have some sense above 25,000. It doesn't seem to be succeeding. But Tata Motors, this is a stock to again check Swati's technical skill. The counter has corrected sharply below 200-day DMA, and we have seen a high of 1177, now at 931. Can you please help us with your view on the chart, Swati, on Tata Motors?
Yes, Shalji, you have rightly pointed out that we have already witnessed a sharp correction in this particular stocks within a span of a 2 months trading session. Now, this particular counter is trading nearby its oversold zone, so we might witness some sort of a recovery in this particular counter. If we look towards the past history as well, 900 is acting as a very crucial support levels. So definitely, I'm looking forward that we might witness some recovery in this particular stocks towards at least thousand even level on the higher sides. So definitely one can go for a long position if you are getting any dips towards to 900 level, or they can add on their positions on every dips. On the downside, it has a very good support of 870 levels. So by maintaining that stop loss, one can definitely go for a long positions and can play the pullback rally, or say can go for a recovery rally up to the target of 1000. So my view is a little bit positive on this particular stock.
Okay. Okay. Now we have about 30 plus 10, 40 minutes left in trade. What is most likely is that we will see a close below 25,000 on the Nifty. A lot of sensible traders will now go short on the index, hoping that Israel will strike against Iran in over the weekend. That is how things happen in the world of geopolitics. The Nifty will then open gap down on Monday, and then those shorts will be covered in the first 1 or 2 minutes of trade. Something similar happened today as well. Lots of shorts were covered which were placed in late trade on Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, and then you saw a very sharp rally coming in. Let us see how it pans out. Let me just point out to some interesting data when it comes to the FNO space, in particular on Nifty stock futures. Let's do an interesting exercise. Let's look at the number of stocks within the Nifty that have short positions getting built into the index. Short build-ups alone. So that's 17 plus 1, 18. 34 plus 1, 35 stock futures within the Nifty. So 35 on 50 would be 70% of the Nifty stocks have built up of short positions. How many stock futures are seeing signs of profit booking? 4. That's Nestle, JSW Steel, SBI and Divi's Lab. So 35 plus 4 is 39. 78% of Nifty is either short or showing signs of profit booking. How many are showing signs of short covering? Just 2. ONGC and HDFC Life. We've discussed ONGC already. Is there a stock which is showing build up of long positions? Yes. Infosys, Tata Motors and Wipro. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you find the mood of the market when a good futures trader wants to go short or long. If an overwhelming majority of the build up is either short plus profit booking, it does not make sense to catch a falling life. However, it does make sense to track those stocks which, despite the negativity, are in the green. Tata Motors has been pointed out by Swati. She will now comment on Infosys. 1917, intraday high was 1954. Swati, do you think Infosys has it in itself to sort of help the Nifty on its way up, or at least prevent a meltdown?
Chalji, IT packs are really doing very well from the last few trading sessions, and Infosys is one of the counter who helps manages to Nifty to certain extent to hold its on the bull side. As of now, this on the technical front, if you look towards the chart, the stock is well placed above all the important moving averages, say the 50, 100, 200 DMA. Also, the interesting fact that it is trading in the higher tops, higher bottom formations with the upward rising channel. The volumes and the price are really doing very well. So the overall technical setup is really perfect on the buy side. those who are having any long positions, I believe this rally is likely to be extended at least towards to 2000 levels. We might see a new high in this particular stocks. Downside, it has a very good support at around 1860. So as long as these supports are maintained on the closing basis, definitely one should look for the long positions or hold for the long positions for immediate target of 2000 levels on the high side.
Okay, it's a cut by 1,000 wounds. The Nifty is now slowly but surely slipping much below 25,000 points. Slow but steady. 24,992, 24,985 is where it is. It was trying to remain above 25,000, but selling pressure is unrelenting and unabating. Let us look at how rising crude oil prices are impacting Indian markets on the negative side, apart from the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Now look at the oil marketing companies. Look at BPCL, look at IOC, look at HPCL. Let me just raise that at my end also within oil and gas. BPCL down 2.6% after yesterday's very sharp fall. Remember, Hind Petro was yesterday's top loser on the FNO space, down 7%, now adding another 2.2% to its loss-making tally. IOC down 2%, and there are two other stocks that I would request your attention. It is within the FMCG pack, Asian Paints, 3 percentage points lower. Look at Berger also. This is something which is fairly well known, because crude oil is the underlying price determinant of raw materials which are used to create paints. They are all oil based paints. Therefore, you see Berger Paints down 4%. This is the worst performing stock today in the FMCG pack. Asian is down 3%, and if these two are down, there is no reason for Pidilite to be up. 3.2% lower Pidilite as far as prices are concerned. At Pidilite prices 3,216. So this is how markets are at about 256, slow but sure degradation. 24,987 on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen. Swati, anything that you have observed?
Yes, as of now, on the Nifty front, I can say that this fall is likely to be extended because the way it is coming on a downside along with the stocks, and overall, we are not witnessing any sectorial support for this particular indices. So I believe that more 300, 400 points can be seen on a downfall in the next week. So the view is little bit cautious, and I'm little bit worried that we are likely to witness more selling pressure in the next week as well. So try to avoid the longs, major long positions, even though we can't initiate a fresh long position at the current market price, but definitely try to avoid the major longs. That will be my major concern in this particular market. So one should be stay aside in this kind of a market and just hold on. If the Nifty manages to take a support of 25,500 to 600 level, then we can initiate a fresh long positions, but not at the current market price.
Okay, fair point. In this time when you have just a huge amount of selling pressure, let's try and look at some stocks that have hit their upper circuits. There are many of them, but I hesitate to take their names on air because many of them are let's just say names which ideally should not be taken on air. Okay, MK stocks and shares 251, 5% higher. Okay, what else can I name on air? Let me just go to a different software and gather some good names for you. Okay, I think this is an exercise which is best left not done. We will just sort of stay away from it. But before we let Swati go, her final view will be on the Bombay Stock Exchange. A sterling set of performance over the last 2 or 3 sessions, despite the negativity surrounding the SEBI circular. A lot of analysts believe that BSE will be a better beneficiary of a reduction in F&O trades, because most likely some kind of market share will move away from unlisted NSE to listed BSE. Swati, before we let you go, your final view on BSE.
Yes, the way the news has come out in the market and the way the stock has hold its gain, it's really admirable. Currently, the stock is trading at 4100 levels. They're trading nearby its all-time high. Even though we are not witnessing a major sell-off or say the profit bookings from the higher levels, but definitely we have seen a very good amount of a recovery from 3850 levels towards to back towards to 4200 levels. At the current market price, definitely view is positive, because the way from the last 2 weeks the stock has shown the movement along with the volumes, it is really very good. I am looking for a target of at least on a high side 4350 to 4400 level. So those who are having any long positions, definitely one can hold on. Downside, it has a very good support of 80 3850 levels. So by keeping that stop loss, one can hold their long positions.
Okay, and Swati, before we let you go, what would be your view on the market opening on Monday in 2 scenarios? If nothing happens over the weekend between Israel and Iran, and if something really breaks out, in those scenarios, what do you see the opening quote of the Nifty?
If we look towards if we get any bad news in the coming 2 days, definitely we are likely to witness a more gap down, because I believe whenever the market closes at the day's low, probably we might see the gap down opening in the next trading sessions if we get something bad news. So probably in the next week itself, we are likely to hit the levels of 24,600 or 24,500 levels. So that are the targets I'm looking forward. But if we are not getting any negative news, and definitely then we might not get a gap up opening, but definitely a swift opening will be seen. But a very good kind of a recovery can be seen into both the indices Nifty as well as Pan 50, and which might if then the Nifty will manage to take a bounce back rally towards at least 25,700 to 25,600, probably on an intraday basis itself. So those are the two types of scenario levels I'm looking for for the next week.
Okay, thank you, Swati, for all the intelligence and all the wonderful views that you've given, and festive greetings to everybody at home, in your team, and to you on Navratra.
Thank you.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift gears. Joining us is now Osho Krishnan, Senior Research Analyst for Technicals and Derivatives at Angel One. Good afternoon to you, Osho, and a very warm welcome. How are you seeing this sell-off on the Nifty? Now it's sort of climbed back above 25,000, but nothing much to say. Very, very sharp basket selling happening on HDFC Bank and of course Reliance Industries. What are your thoughts?
Very good afternoon, Shal sir. Firstly, thank you for having me at the closing bell. Now, actually, what we are witnessing in the last 3 months, that the first week of the first month or the new month is we are witnessing some kind of profit booking. We have seen it in the month of September. We have seen it in a prior month. So that means every first week of a new month, we are witnessing a profit booking or a correction kind of a market. After that, we are witnessing consolidation and again a vertical up move. So looking at the historical data of last 3 months, I am expecting the same. I'm not very much bearish in the market. Market just have corrected approximately 4.5 to 5% from the higher end, and 25,000 is a very strong support zone also. On technical front, 50-day exponential moving average, and even on the derivative front, decent put writing has been seen. So last trading session, yes, that has given a lot of pressure to the market based on the geopolitical reason and the regulatory reforms. But overall, I am expecting that this will fizzle out within 1 to 2 trading sessions, and then again we can see some kind of decent consolidation or bounce will be back in the market. So I'm not very much pessimistic in the market. There can be another 100 kind of a profit booking that can be seen for Nifty, but 24,800 and 24,900 is a very strong support that we have seen in the last trading month also. So I'm expecting hardly 150 point of lower movement in Nifty. Now coming to the major heavyweights like Reliance and HDFC Bank, so I would say that these kind of correction, firstly in HDFC Bank, should be seen as a buying opportunity because after a very strong consolidation around the zone of 1640 to 1620, HDFC Bank have started moving on the higher end. Again, it is providing us the opportunity to re-enter at the same zone. So I assume 1640 is the zone where one should again try to start accumulating the share. And I'm having a very strong feeling that it should move on the higher end, approximately 1600, 80, 1700 first resistance short term basis, but again after that it has the potential to retest the highs of 1800 also. And for Reliance it has given a breakdown, so obviously there is a steep correction, but these kind of correction can be seen as a buying opportunity specifically in the heavyweight. So Reliance also have seen approximately 10% correction in this market in this week. So I'm expecting that from here onwards there can be a decent revival or consolidation that can be seen in Reliance also, because historically on the weekly time frame the lows were approximately around the same zone, 2750, 2740 odd levels, the swing lows. So I'm expecting that from there onwards again the market can turn around, and this can provide us an opportunity to accumulate these two heavyweight counters.
Fair point. Apart from these two, is there anything else that is on your tentative buy list as a potential SIP, or are you trying to stay away from the market?
Overall, I am very much positive with the equity market, and I expect that these kind of corrections are very positive for SIP basically. So one should wait for such kind of correction for systematic investment planning. So one should definitely keep tracking or keep having their flows in the market as a buying opportunity. So there are plenty of options. For example, IT is looking very positive. Even Infosys in such kind of market condition is holding its higher status. So I expect that Infosys can see some kind of decent up move. One should stay stuck with the heavyweights because in such kind of market where volatility is likely to get hiked, one should stay invested in heavyweights because they will be having the least concerns over the volatility in the market. So Infosys is looking very positive. Other counters from mid cap or small cap is also looking positive. One of the breakout counters is JK Paper from the small cap. It is also looking very positive. So there are many counters which are still looking positive, but one should stay invested in heavyweights in such kind of market conditions. And overall, for SIP basis, one should definitely keep their flow in the market because overall we are having a very strong bullish sentiment in a broader time frame.
Fair point. Osho, how are you looking at the stock view of Bombay Stock Exchange? It's rock solid at a time when there is crisis all around, and given the close that is there upon us at about 41.18, I think it will be an all-time high fairly soon on the Bombay Stock Exchange. How are the charts telling you their story about this particular stock?
See, overall, this counter is definitely into a very strong overbought terrain, and from here onwards, uh, uh, adding a fresh position might be risky. But those who are already having the position, one should stay intact with their investment. It has given a breakout above the zone of 4,000, so I expect that from here onwards, till the momentum persists, one should try to ride the momentum in BSE on the higher end. Again, 4,200 being the first mark that can be seen as the first target, but even till the momentum persists, one should stay invested in this counter. On the lower end, the strong support is placed around 3650, 3600 odd levels. So if it corrects in future around the zone of 3600, that will be providing very strong accumulation zone for BSE. Overall, the technical structure is very positive, but it is only at very strong overbought parameters. So I'm not very much aggressive. One should not be very much aggressive in this counter.
Okay, fair point. This is the view that is coming in on the Bombay Stock Exchange. Let's just delve deeper into the market. We have the last 22 minutes left, and let's look at top gainers at a time when there is pain all around. A sharp move coming in Thermax, 51.89. This is not a stock that we often talk about, but it's one of those the bluest of the blue chips that has given fabulous return to long-term shareholders. Is this the beginning of a new trend? Only time will tell. But let's take Osho's view in 5% higher Thermax. Osho, what are the charts telling you?
See, overall, this today's movement has given a very strong bullish engulfing kind of a pattern on this count on the daily time frame, and that has been backed by decent volume. So I expect that from here onwards, the trend should continue because it has already been in a positive terrain. There has been some kind of profit booking, and again in today's session, it has reverted from the 50-day exponential moving average. So I expect that from here onwards, there can be a continuity on the higher end, but immediately 5400 is the zone which might act as a resilience. The time it breaches the zone of 5400 on a decisive or a closing manner, then we can see a very strong movement towards the zone of its lifetime highs of 5800.
Okay. That's a good one that is coming in and showing signs of life, ladies and gentlemen, is the market's favorite baby, Zomato. After 4 plus 4, 8 days of consistent profit booking, Zomato is now trying to reclaim above 21 EMA. What are the medium term charts telling you about Zomato, Osho?
See, overall, the breakout was seen approximately around the same zone, 265, 270 odd levels. The counter have retested the neckline once, and this is the second time that it has retested the breakout neckline. So I expect that from here onwards, it might see a decent cushioning from here onwards and can see a higher upward movement towards the zone of 295 in the short term period. So overall, the structure is very positive. It is in a cycle of higher highs, higher lows, and currently hovering or currently witnessing a kind of retracement from its neckline. So it is a very crucial development on the technical front. So definitely one can accumulate even at freshly at these levels for higher target of 290 to 92.
Okay, fair point. Anything else that catches you now that about 14-15 minutes of trade are left for this week? The markets, of course, have corrected very sharply. More than 5% on the Bank Nifty, about 4.3% on the Nifty. Yes, sir.
One of the PSU counter is looking very positive to me. Bank of Baroda is looking very positive to me. This counter have seen very strong traction in terms of trading volumes, has emerged above its short-term moving average, currently coinciding with the 200-day SMA on the daily time frame. But I expect with the kind of movement that it has witnessed, there can be a follow-up buying that can be seen in this counter. So I expect that from here onwards, near about 254.55 is the first resilience, but the time it surpasses the zone of 254, we can see a very strong reversal in this counter for higher target of 268, which is the bearish gap on the daily time frame. So this is a counter that one should definitely keep a track on. The other one, which I already mentioned, JK Paper has given a breakout that has seen a very strong consolidation breakout on the daily time frame. So one can definitely try to gauge the momentum in this counter, currently hovering at 488, and I'm expecting a target of nearly 530, 538 in short-term perspective. There has been very strong consolidation breakout on the terms of strong volumes. So I expect there can be a decent move on the higher end, but at the same time, this being a very strong or high beta counter, one should keep a strict stop loss around the zone of 470 for targets of nearly 530 to 38.
Okay, bulls are trying desperately to retain 25,000 as the weekly level on the Nifty. Whether that happens or not, only time will tell, because the last 30 minutes of any index or any stock, the market takes an average price for the last 30 minutes multiplied by the number of trades and transactions to arrive at the closing price. But for the moment, 25,014, still down 235 on the Nifty. But remember, it was the sell-off of epic proportions. Intraday high was 25,460, and from then on, you've seen 25,000 4,970 or 75 also visiting the Nifty. What else is moving that we can talk about? I think there are decent appreciations happening in the pharma space. Torrent Pharma is 2.5% higher. This is the top performing counter in the FNO space. Look at Lal Path Lab, 2% higher. IPCA 1.3% higher. You have Glenmark Pharma, a percent higher at 1660. You have a strong mu coming into Lupin, and of course Aurobindo Pharma. So the markets are defensive, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a space where relative safety is being sought by sensible market players. Osho, what would be your top pick when it comes to the pharma space?
From pharma space, some of the counters have seen a very strong breakout. For example, Lalpath Lab has seen a very strong breakout of its consolidation that has been backed by very strong volumes today. Near about 3400 was the zone where it has given a breakout, and since then it has been maintaining its positive stature for throughout the day. So I expect that from here onwards, this counter can see a decisive, strong move on the higher end. The range of the breakout is approximately 200 odd points. So I expect 3550 to sorry 3600 to 3650 that can be seen in short term period for Lalpath Labs. So this is a very strong breakout that has been seen in this counter, and I expect the momentum should continue in the coming period also.
Okay, 315, ladies and gentlemen. This is now sort of a day when bulls have been pushed on the back foot completely. I'm looking at about 35 stocks in the top traded by volume. You have to believe me when I tell you that only 6 of them are in gains. BSE 3.5% higher, we've discussed. Zomato we've marked 2.5% higher. Bank of Baroda is something that Osho came out with, and Oil India. Just 4 stocks in top 35 in volume trade which are in the green. That shows you the extent and breadth of sell-off. How about all-time highs? Obviously there's some names that I will not be taking on air because of issues of quality, but let's avoid one real estate company out of Delhi, TARC, TARC, 266.50, up 3.8. This is the only one that I would like to name on air as far as record highs are concerned. And how about those on the circuit on the green side? No, we'll just sort of stay away with these names and let them be. 317 for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start wrapping up the market. It seems 25,000 will be with the bulls. Let's hope that is. Osho, what are your thoughts on market open on Monday under 2 circumstances, which is nothing happens between Israel and Iran on the weekend, and of course if there is a flare up? In these 2 scenarios and situations, where do you see and how do you see Nifty in particular opening on Monday?
See, overall, I am very much optimistic in our market, and if the scenario remains subdued, that if nothing has happened on the weekend, then I can expect that bulls may return on Monday and they will start buying the market because of 2 things. One, as I have mentioned, that Nifty is at its very strong support of 25,000 being a psychological mark, and put writing have also been very decent in 25,000. So there can be a strong retracement from here onwards. Also, the 50-day exponential moving average is approximately around the same zone, 25,060 approx. So I expect that these levels should provide very strong support for this counter, and we can see some strong movement. And historically, as I already mentioned at the beginning of the show, that we have seen that the first week of every month there has been some kind of profit booking or correction, followed by 1-2 days of consolidation, and again there is continuation in the uptrend. So looking at the historical data, I expect if nothing happens on the weekend, if everything remains as it is, then we can see a change in the trend on the higher end. But again, not very much aggressive. 25,400 to 25,500 would be the immediate resistance or target that we can see for the bulls in the first 2 to 3 trading sessions of the week. But if there is some negative developments over the weekend, then from here onwards we can see a steep correction, continuity of the steep correction, because market has already corrected more than 78% of the recent rally. So I expect if there will be any strong fall off or continuation on the downside, then again I am also expecting 24,800 to be seen as a last resort for the bulls, and there we can see a strong movement. But if it breaches below 24,800, then another 300 point of movement can be seen. But I'm not that much pessimistic in the market. I expect that Monday we can see a reversal.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's how markets have shaped up and are likely to sort of come up with their opening quotes according to Osho and earlier Swati. 320. Now let's just look at the broader performance and see how markets have shaped up. M&M Finance is the top losing counter in the F&O space, down 6.8%. Chambal Fertilizers has lost 6 at 499. Godrej Properties down 5.5%. GNFC and Granules India have lost between 4 and 4.5%. These are the top 5 losers as far as the F&O space is concerned. And you have, in terms of gainers, the ones that I've already mentioned: Lalpath, Torrent Pharma, Bajaj, Bank of Baroda, GMR Infra, Steel Authority, and Ipca Labs. Let's now visit the Nifty and see how stocks have fared within the index. On the top losing side, ladies and gentlemen, is M&M, Nestle, Hero Motors, down 3.6 and 2.8% respectively. Bajaj Finance, BPCL, and Asian Paints are also amongst the losers, which is helping the Nifty sort of not go below 25,000 points, ladies and gentlemen, is Infosys, 1.1% higher. HDFC Life consolidating about 710. ONGC, after a massive sell-off, ONGC is back on the green, mainly because of higher crude oil prices. And of course, the smaller twins, Tech Mahindra, TCS, and Wipro, also helping Infosys sort of on its way up. I'd also, at the same point of time, like to see the Nifty IT index. Just a moment, where can I get that? This is an index to be watched. Yes. The Nifty IT index is up 0.5% at 41,950. Remember, it had gained about 700-800 points in the morning and is now just up about 90 points. That was the extent of the sell-off, but thankful that it's still in the green. And it's the PSU banking index, ladies and gentlemen, which is now showing signs of life after weeks and weeks and months of a sideways to profit booking trend. Remember, this index is around its June 4th lows, and a massive profit booking over the last 3-4 months, coupled with complete disinterest on the PSU banking basket, has brought it here. But given the fact that the overall market, which was very buoyant 4 days ago, is correcting, now people are looking at value in the PSU banking basket, led by none other than Bank of Baroda. Another stock that I would like Osho to see is Bank of Maharashtra. What are the charts of Bank of Maharashtra telling you, Osho, on the medium term?
See, immediately this counter have seen a plunge below the 200-day SMA, so that signifies that there is a more corrective phase for this counter. But overall, if I have to say, then this counter have seen a very strong vertical rally in the past period, and after that there has been some kind of time-wise followed by price-wise correction in this counter. So I'm not very much aggressive at these levels, but if there will be any kind of continuity towards the zone of 56, 58 odd levels, then one can try to start accumulating in a staggered manner, not very aggressively, but in a staggered manner, one can definitely try accumulating this counter. The final set of investment should be done around the zone of 50. If it comes, then from there onwards, we can see a decent and gradual up move in this counter.
Okay, let's just stick to the PSU segment. These are interesting thoughts that I want to leave you with. Let's look at the top gainers. Bank of Baroda that we've discussed. Indian Bank, one of the finest PSU balance sheets, 1.4% higher. Central Bank of India, PNB and SBI. Punjab National Bank just last week raised 5,000 crore rupees via QIP to offset the demand for rising credit. Its business outlook for the past quarter was very good. It showed strong quarter on quarter and year on year growth both in the domestic as well as the overseas business. One very quick look on PNB Osho. I remember a high of I think 130 rupees on PNB. Could you please
141.
have a look at the chart and advise viewers? PNB, yes, all time high is 140. We are now at 105, 104.
See, overall, this counter again is into some kind of corrective phase. It is plunging below the 200 SMA on the daily time frame. But overall, as we have seen a very strong vertical rally in all the majority of the PSU bank counters, so there can be some kind of decent move which we can witness in this counter also. But on the technical front, the support lies around the zone of 98 to 100. So if it comes around the zone of 98 to 100, one can definitely try to accumulate it on a short to medium or even for long term perspective. Or if there will be any kind of breakout above the zone of 115, then that will be an opportunity that one can start accumulating the share from medium term perspective. So overall, the technical structure remains positive with some kind of continuation in the consolidation for the time being. So either buy on the dips or buy on the highs that is recommended in this counter.
Okay, 326. Osho, before I let you go, one very quick thought on the bank Nifty, and of course, let's look at the small cap index also. I wanted to see what is the extent of fall. Are the cuts on the small cap index and the mid cap index more than the Nifty? Well, they're pretty much the same. Nifty is down 0.8%. Mid cap and small cap are also down 0.8 and 0.9%. How about the NSE 500? 0.8%. Nothing much. So it's an equal sell-off. Your view on Bank Nifty for the coming week?
See, overall, Bank Nifty has also corrected more than 4% in the week, and I was expecting that in the rally, Bank Nifty has outperformed Nifty. So I was expecting that once there will be a fall, there will be a decent move in overall the banking space, then we again can see some kind of resurgence in this counter. So I expect that on the lower end, it is near the support. 51,500 is a very strong support for Bank Nifty, both on the technical levels also and even on the derivatives levels. But looking at the overall setup that we have seen, so Nifty has corrected approximately 0.78% of the recent rally, while Bank Nifty has not corrected that much. For Bank Nifty, it comes around the zone of 51,250 odd levels. So if there will be a further continuation on the downtrend, another 200 to 250 points of downside can be seen in Bank Nifty, and from there onwards we can see a higher movement in Bank Nifty for immediate target of 52,500, which is the bearish gap on the daily time frame, followed by 20-day exponential moving average.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's now sort of start winding down the market. Thanks to you, Osho, very kind of you to step in, and season's greetings as also festive spirits for you, your family, and everybody at Angel One. Thank you for such excellent advice, especially on counters such as BSE and Zomato.
Thank you so much, sir, and wish you the same.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap up the markets. Most likely you will see a close above 25,000. The bulls have one flag to show for at least today. A 200-point cut on the Nifty, which was looking really good. This is the fifth continuous day of selling, and somewhere during the day you had seen 25,460, but a huge basket selling on Reliance Industries and HDFC Bank saw the return of bears, and with great pomp and show. Let me just point out to the volume on Reliance Industries: 5,170 crores, HDFC Bank 4,072 crores, ICICI Bank 1,683 crores. Today's FI net sales should be somewhere in the vicinity of 11 to 12,000 crore rupees, compared with 15,400 yesterday, 5,300 a day before, and on Friday it was somewhere in the vicinity of 9,900 crores. In the last 5 sessions, foreign institutional investors would have taken out 42,000 crore rupees from Indian equities, mainly on because of extensively stretched valuation, and of course the trigger of the sell-off being the crisis in the Middle East, rising crude oil prices, and the SEBI circular on clamping down of forex volumes. Let us also look at the broader markets. We track 19 indices for you. 17 of them are in the red. The realty and the FMCG indexes are the worst hit, 1.7 and 1.62% respectively. Auto, mid-cap, select, energy, small cap and mid-cap indices have lost anywhere between 0.9 to 1.6%, and of course you see this sell-off accelerating on all counters that are linked to crude oil prices. Therefore, oil marketing companies IOC, HPCL, BPCL are down. Paint companies that source their raw materials where prices are linked to crude derivatives have lost ground. Berger Paints, Kansai Nerolac, Akzo Nobel, Asian Paints, and of course Indigo Paints are down as well. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we draw to a close for this week. Let's hope over the next week you see some sense coming back into the markets, and of course nothing worse happens over the weekend as far as Israel and Iran are concerned. If that does happen, then we will have a further round of profit booking, but let's hope for the best, but remain planned for the worst. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice weekend, and we'll meet on Monday.
Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I'm Siddharth Zarabi and you're watching our special coverage on the Silver Jubilee edition of the Business Today MDRA, India's best business school survey. It's out now, viewers, and this 25th edition that you can now access on the stands captures the far-reaching changes that have swept through the corridors of India's best and foremost business schools. Faculty and students are preparing themselves for a new world, a post-COVID world. That journey has been on for the past few years, and now an AI-driven world. And joining